Hi, I'm Maria and welcome to your yoga practice. I'm at Nova Yoga in the heart of the city, 125 Longs Hill. And this practice today is all about creating heat and stability and strength in your body. In particular, we'll think about building strength in the legs, in the hips, and in the back body. We'll start our practice in a comfortable standing position today, and feel free to join me at the top of your mat. And we'll give ourselves some time to settle in, and as you arrive and settle in, know there'll be lots of choices in everything that you do today. And really let this practice be what you need it to be. And here you might close your eyes or soften your gaze. And maybe float a hand to the heart, maybe another hand to the belly as you connect into yourself. Notice how your body is feeling. Notice how the breath is flowing. And with your next breath in, take a moment to welcome your whole self to this practice. And then let that exhale softly go. And as we spend a little time here at the top of the mat, settling into mountain pose Tadasana, let your feet land at about hip distance apart, maybe a little wider or closer together if that feels better for you. And as you bring your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet, notice the base of your big toe, the base of your pinky, the inner and outer edges of your heels, pressing down the four corners of your feet. And notice what it feels like to root down into the earth, how that feels for the legs. And as you start to travel up the body here, lengthen through your spine, let your shoulders soften. Here you might release your arms down by the side. And the eyes might stay closed, or you might open your eyes here. And then when you're ready to move, take a breath in and sweep the arms out to the side, reach the hands up and overhead. And then with your exhale out, palms pressed together, hands coming softly to the heart. And then we'll take another breath in, arms reaching out wide, sweep the hands up towards the sky. And this time with your exhale out, slowly, steadily start to sit back into your chair pose here. So we'll flow with this chair pose today. With this first round, you might peek down, see your big toe shining up at you, knees moving back in space. Sending into your hip strength here, steady at your core. And then with your breath in, press the earth away, sweep the arms up. And then on your exhale out, sit back into your chair pose again, Utkatasana. So mindful with your movement, mindful with the breath, arms reaching up. Exhale out, slowly sitting back. Now we'll start to add on. We'll take a breath in, arms reach out wide, sweep the hands up and overhead. This time with your exhale out, hands come to heart center. Just a touch of softness in the knees this time, so you can shift the weight to the left foot, pick up your right foot, step your right foot to the back of your mat, landing onto the ball of your right foot. But know you can anchor down the back heel as well for warrior one. If you're here with the back heel lifted in high crescent lunge, you might hold steady and strong here with hands at the heart. You might explore arms reaching out to the side and up and overhead as well. Feel the hips hugging into the midline of the body here, core wrapping in toward your center. Spine tall from the tailbone up to the crown of the head. Give yourself another breath in. And now making our way down to the floor with the breath out, we'll take the hands down to frame the front foot. And then we'll step the left foot back to meet the right, either coming into down dog or into hands and knees, your preference here. With our first down dog of the practice, find any movement that feels good to you. So here you might bend your knees and pedal your feet. You might shift the hips from side to side. And if you're in hands and knees, this could look like moving through some cat-cow or taking some hip circles here. Give yourself some time to pause. Continue to hug the shoulders in, feel steady at your center, tall through your spine. Take a full breath in. And then on your exhale out, lower the knees down to the mat And then walk your hands about a palm print forward. Shift your shoulders so they're hovering over the wrists into our half plank. Take a breath in, lengthen through the spine. And then on your exhale out, slowly lower the upper body down to the mat here. As you land, lengthen your legs long behind you, and then anchor all 10 toes down. Build strength around your knees. Feel the low belly anchoring down as well, pressing to the floor. Press palms into the mat. Take a breath in, roll your shoulders away from the ears here. Lift the chest up and forward at the same time, coming into your low cobra. So moving steady with the breath, lower yourself back down. And then take another inhale, slow rise up here. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Now press the right foot down, and along with lifting the chest, lift your left leg up. Exhale to softly lower. Press your left foot down, lift your chest, your right leg up. And lower. And now the next time you rise up, you might lift the chest, both legs, and maybe the hands as well. Exhale out, softly lower back down. Tuck your toes. Hug your upper arm bones in, press the earth away again, and then bring hips back towards the heels, coming to extended child's pose. Let the forehead meet the mat. Full breath in. Soft breath out. Take your time to slowly rise back up into hands and knees. And then slide your hands back to your knees. Start to roll onto the soles of your feet. Feet landing about hip distance apart. Take a breath in, slide hands up to meet the shins, half lift, lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale here, softly fold. And now with your breath in, bring your hips back in space, sweep the arms out wide, reach the hands up and overhead. And then on your exhale out, hands to heart, and adding on a balance pose here. Find your focal point at the top of your room or the top of the mat and start to shift the weight into your left foot. Bring a little softness into your left knee, hug your left outer hip in towards your midline. Now either rising up onto the tippy toes of your right foot here, or you might lift the knee a little more. Start to turn your knee out to the side, right ankle towards your left thigh, and then cross your right leg over your left thigh here. You might stay tall in the body, long in the leg, or maybe here, coming back to that similar shape that we took in our chair pose, hips moving back in space, strong around the hips, strong around your center, our Buddha pose. Find that steadiness within. Soften the shoulders, release the jaw, and take another breath in. And breath out. Now on your next inhale, we'll lengthen the left leg out and lift your right knee up. And then take your right foot down to the mat, release your arms down by the side, and give yourself a little bit of movement here. And then we'll meet at the top of the mat again. We'll make our way there. And we'll take that whole flow to the other side of the body. Let's reconnect to our steady mountain pose here. Feet rooting down, legs steady, spine tall, shoulders soft. Breathing in as you press the feet to the earth, reach the arms out wide, sweep the hands up and overhead. And then with your exhale out, palms press together, hands come to the heart. Then we'll take another breath in, rooting down, rising up with the crown of the head and the hands. This time adding on our chair pose, slow, steady, bring the hips back in space. Move with the flow of your breath. Inhale, lengthen through the whole body. And then exhale out, four corners of the feet press down equally. Sit back into the hips. We'll flow with that one more time. Breath in, rising up. Breath out, sitting back. Now let's take another inhale here, lengthen through the whole body. And this time on your exhale out, hands come to the heart. There's just a touch of softness in the knees so that we can shift the weight into the right foot. Pick up your left knee and then step your left foot behind you here. High crescent lunge with the heel lifted, or the back heel down, toes towards the top left corner of your mat for warrior one. Wherever you are in those shapes, hug the hips in, draw the core in. Hands might stay at the heart, or arms might reach up towards the sky here. Feel the outer hips hugging in, the shoulders hugging in, core strong and steady. Take a full breath in here. Full breath out. And we'll start to make our way down to the mat. We'll take an inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. And then on your exhale, take your hands down to frame your front foot. Now either step your right foot back to meet the left, down dog, or bring the knees down to the mat and make your way into hands and knees. Now just like before, let's spend a little time here in any movement that feels good to you. So you might bend the knees, maybe pedal the feet. You might shift the hips from side to side. If you're in hands and knees, maybe waving the spine, and we could all perhaps nod the head yes and no. And then take your next breath to settle into your stillness. Take a full inhale. And complete exhale. Next breath in, lower your knees down to the mat. Slide your hands about a palm print forward here. Hover your shoulders over your wrists, coming into your half plank. Take a breath in, hug the shoulders in, lift through the crown of the head. And then on your exhale out, that slow, mindful movement down to the mat. As you land, lengthen your legs long behind you. Press all 10 toes down here. Strong around your knees. Press the low belly into the mat here. Feel that anchoring down. And then as you breathe in, roll your shoulders away from the ears. Start to lift your chest up and forward, coming into your low cobra. And then on your exhale, slowly lower your chest back down. And now pressing your right foot down, lift your left leg up, lift the chest. Exhale to softly lower. Press your left foot down, lift your right leg up, slow, steady. Softly lower. And now this time as you rise up, option to rise up for 3 breaths. So you might lift your feet, lift your chest, maybe float your hands as well. Tune into your steady inhale and your soft exhale. Reach out through the toes, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then take one more breath in. And then exhale out. Let your body lower down. Tuck your toes here, hands underneath the shoulders. Hug your upper arm bones in. Let yourself press the earth away. And then bring hips back towards the heels. Lengthen through the spine, coming into your extended child's pose. Here for a full round of your breath. On your next inhale, slow rise back up into hands and knees. Start to slide your hands back towards your knees here. Press off the mat. Take your time, come back into your forward fold. Breath in, hands rise up to meet the shins or the thighs, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, soften into your fold. Breath in, hips move back in space. Slow rise up, reach hands towards the sky. Exhale out, hands to heart center. Start to bring your awareness, your attention into your right leg, into your right foot. A little softness in the right knee here. And here your balance challenge might be lifting up your left heel, landing onto the toes of your left foot. You might lift the knee a little more. And then when you're ready, turn the knee to the left, foot to the right, cross your left leg over your right. You can stay here with the leg straight. You can start to bend the knee, thinking about those same sensations and alignment cues as you sat back into your chair pose, but here with the leg floating into our Buddha pose. And then at your center, connect to the flow and the rhythm of your breath. Be here in this experience. Take another breath in. And breath out. Next breath in, lengthen your right leg, lift your left knee up. Take that foot to the mat. Let your arms come down to soften by the side. Take any movement that feels good to you here to release that flow from the body. And then we'll meet again at the top of the mat. We'll anchor back in here. Once again, returning to your steady mountain pose, Tadasana, feet rooting down, spine tall, shoulders soft down the back. Taking your breath in here to sweep the arms out wide, reach the hands up and overhead. Exhale out, palms come together, knees softly bend, make your way into your fold. Take your breath in here, slide your hands up to meet the shins or the thighs, half lift, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Now adding in one more chair pose here, hips moving back in space, press down into the earth, slow rise up. So here you might bring your hands to your heart. You might bring your arms out in front, hug your upper arm bones in. Arms might reach up towards the sky. Be here with your steady breath. Equal weight out through the four corners of your feet. Your inner, your outer hip strength here. Core wrapping in toward your center. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then next breath in here, lengthen the body, reach the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale out, soften back into your fold. Generous bend in the knees here. Let the upper body relax. Take any movement that feels good. Maybe shake out the hands, roll out the shoulders. You might shift the weight from one foot to the other. And then find yourself back to center. Inhale here, hands rise up to the shins, half lift, lengthen. And then on your exhale, bring your hands to the mat, and then your choice to step back into hands and knees or down dog. Take a breath here to transition through either of those poses into your child's pose. You might find a little movement. You might pause in stillness. And then give yourself another breath in. Exhale out. Lower the knees to the mat, knees together, maybe knees shifted apart. Hips softening back towards the heels here. Any variation of your child's pose, Balasana, that feels right to you in this moment. And know that other resting postures could be sitting back into kneeling or coming into Sukhasana or another seated pose. And give yourself some time to release the effort of that strong standing flow. And then let yourself be here with the flow of your breath. And now taking as much time as you'd like, start to rise up into hands and knees, sweep your feet off to the side. And then we'll make our way down onto the back body to finish out the practice. So you can slide the hands behind the thighs here, slowly roll down. Lengthen out your spine as you arrive, let your shoulders soften, let your head feel heavy. Here you might keep your feet on the mat or maybe hug the knees in close to the chest. Give yourself a little rocking there from side to side. And then we'll meet at center. We'll let the knees softly bend. We'll keep the left foot to the mat here. Start to lengthen your right leg up towards the sky, and then reaching forward to wrap your hands around the back of your right thigh. And you can also use a strap or something else for support here. Send the right heel up towards the sky. Find a sense of strength through the front of the leg, space through the back of the leg. And then on your exhale out, softly bend your right knee. Let your right heel soften towards the seat. And then we'll take that again, breath in, strong, steady through the front of the leg, send the heel up. And then exhale out, softly bend your knee. We'll do that one more time, full breath in. And full breath out. Release your hands from your right leg and cross your right leg over your left here. Here you might keep your left foot to the mat. You might tuck a block or something of support underneath the left foot, or you can reach the hands around the left thigh this time, flexing both feet as you hug the left knee in towards the body. And keeping your left knee anchored over your left hip, and if you notice your head and your shoulders lifting off the mat, you might tuck a blanket or a pillow underneath your head for support. And letting the breath flow for one more round. And then release your left foot down to the floor. Uncross both legs here. Press both feet into the mat, shift them a little closer to the right side of the mat, and then let your knees lower over to the left, coming into our reclining spinal twist. Hands might stay to the ribs or the belly, arms might open out to a T. And feel free to keep your head at neutral, or maybe turn your head towards the right side of the room, right side of your mat. Feel your body leaning into the support of the floor. And releasing the effort, finding a little more ease. And take another round of your breath. And then bring your head back to center, and then bring your feet back to center, and then shift your hips back to the middle of your mat. Slide your arms down by the side here. The right foot stays connected, and we start to hug the left knee in towards the body. And as you interlace the hands at the back of the thigh, you might have the other thumb on top. Breathing in to send the heel up towards the sky, finding your strength, your steadiness through the front of the leg. And then on your exhale out, softly bend the knee. And we'll take another breath in, send the heel up, lengthen space through the back of the leg. And then exhale out to bend the knee. And we'll take that one more time, full breath in. Full breath out. Release your hands from the left thigh, cross your left leg over your right. Your options here for your thread the needle or figure four, right foot to the mat, maybe a block underneath the foot for support. Or here you might hug the knees in close to the chest and maybe wrap hands around the back of your right thigh. Flexing your feet, hovering your right knee over your right ankle here. Right knee over your right hip, not your ankle. Give yourself another breath in. A long, soft breath out. And full breath in here. And then with your exhale, let your right foot come down to the mat, uncross your legs. We'll press into the feet here to shift your hips a little closer to the left and let your knees soften over to the right. You might take your hands to the belly or let your arms expand. And feel yourself leaning into the support of the floor. And maybe starting to invite a softer breath in and a longer breath out. And if your head was turned to the left, take your time to bring your head back to center. Slowly walk your feet back to the middle of the mat and shift your hips there as well. And then to end your practice, you might hug your knees in close to your chest, maybe lift the head, the heart in close to the knees, wrap in toward your center. And then on your exhale out, bring your feet down to the mat. Legs can lengthen long, knees can gently bend. Arms might come by the side or rest onto the belly. Find a place where you can release that effort from your whole body here, and you can settle into the support of the floor. And let this rest be what you need it to be today. Stay as long as you'd like. And then whenever you're ready to end the practice, you might float your hands to your heart center, palms pressing together, Anjali Mudra, or maybe the hands resting onto the heart. And from the heart center, that place within, sending lots of gratitude out to yourself for dedicating this time to you today. And I send my gratitude out to you for sharing your practice with me. Have a beautiful day.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love